In this video, I want to tell you about my real estate epiphany. It was an epiphany that changed my investing life. If you stick around to the end of the video, I'll share how you can use this epiphany to reduce taxes and increase wealth in your life as well. My epiphany really came in 3 phases. The first phase when I was young. I was probably 12 years old, and I grew up near Mystic, Connecticut. If you haven't been to Mystic, it's a quintessential New England small town. It's touristy. The downtown area has shops for clothing and souvenirs. There are restaurants, there are cafes. There's a beautiful drawbridge that goes up regularly so the sailboats can cruise by. And I was probably 12 years old walking down the street, and I would see there's a business, there's a business, there's a vacancy, there's a business. And when there was a vacancy, there'd be a sign with a name and a phone number. It said for lease. And I asked my dad about what that meant, and he said, oh, that's so you can call the landlord. And I asked him, well, what's a landlord? And he said, well, that's the person that owns the building. And that's when I had phase 1 of my epiphany. You can own these buildings. Now, I know what you're thinking, that's really basic, but at 12 years old, I hadn't really thought about owning commercial real estate before. This was the first time I realized, oh, somebody actually owns these things. That's fantastic. And then I was probably a junior or senior in high school. We had a business economics class in my high school and started learning a little bit about business. And I'm still spending time in Mystic. And that's when I had a second phase of my epiphany. And that second phase was this. This was a touristy town. That meant businesses would do well in the summer and not so well in the winter months. But I knew that the landlord always got their rent check. And I loved that. I thought that's fantastic. The landlord always gets the rent check. The business does well, business doesn't do well. They still have to pay the rent. If tragically that business fails and goes under, they probably lost money, but the landlord got the rent every month and may have a month or 2 of vacancy, but then he gets a new tenant in there to continue to pay the rent month after month. Well, that was the second phase of my epiphany. The third phase came early on in our marriage when I thought, well, I think we could own one of these buildings. So at first I realized somebody owned them. Then I realized the landlord got the rent check every month. And then I realized I could own one of these buildings. I should own one of these buildings. Now, at that time when we were first married, we were pretty poor. We felt rich because in 1998, we had $3,500 in the bank and a paid-for GeoPrism. So we felt like we had everything we needed. But we were a long way from owning anything like commercial real estate. But that was the epiphany I had in 3 phases that led me to the point later in life when I was 40 years old when I bought our very first rental property, which is, and we own it to this day, commercial real estate. It's a small office building in a small downtown in Maine, has 4 offices in there, including the accounting practice, 20 parking places, and off-street parking is at a premium in this little town. So this building makes it very easy for tenants to rent. They've got plenty of parking. They've got parking for their customers and for their clients. So my epiphany that I had beginning when I was 12 years old has now made me tens of thousands of dollars because that property cash flows like crazy now. So now it's your turn. It's your turn to think about buying real estate. And I'm going to encourage you, if you're a business owner, to think about buying commercial real estate. Whether you're in a service industry, you're an attorney, you're an accountant, you're a counselor, you're a therapist, or whether you're in the trades, you're a plumber, you're an electrician, you need a building. And why do you need a building, you may ask? Well, it's simple. Who's going to buy your business in 15 or 20 years? Anybody out there looking to buy an accounting practice? Anyone? No. But is anyone looking to buy a small office building with lots of parking in a quaint downtown in Maine? Yes, those buyers are out there. So for your business, who's going to buy your law practice in 20 years? Who's going to buy your little electrical company in 20 years? Nobody. But if you own real estate and pay yourself rent and use some of the strategies that our tax strategists teach our clients at management accounting, you can save a pile of money while building wealth in real estate that you can then, years down the road, either keep and collect the rents like those landlords in Mystic, Connecticut, and that can be a source of retirement income for you, or you can sell it. Maybe you do a 1031 exchange into another property. Maybe you just pay the capital gains, take the money, and you're done, and you're happy with that. But that's how you can use my real estate epiphany to reduce taxes and increase wealth in your life.